after like 2 years of waiting, we have finally got a package for the Nurburgring edition. Yes, this is 99% of the parts we were missing, plus a bunch of other parts that I could not get from the factory overseas, and we're gonna finish this MV Agusta Brutale 1000RR Nurburgring edition. One of only 150 in the world. And then things take a turn for the worst. But before that bad news, let me hit you with some other bad news on how much this rebuild cost. Right here, I have all the numbers. $29,407.54 is how much I spent on OEM parts for this Nurburgring edition. And then a bunch of eBay parts later. The grand total of this bike was $52,280.98. That includes what I bought this Nurburgring for and all the parts I had to use for it. Now, if you're new here, we spent the better part of a few years rebuilding this extremely rare bike. Spending tons of money, tons of time and sweat into basically rebuilding this bike from scratch. And was it even worth it? Now, before we put this bike in neutral and roll it down a hill, let me show you the parts we got. Some of these parts were ordered July 2024, plus some aftermarket stuff like this carbon front mudguard, which I think looks way better than the OEM gray. A lot of these parts, like this right side handlebar, which is bent, are impossible to find secondhand on eBay, so I had to buy this stuff from the factory and wait for it to show up. Now, the rarest piece you'll see in this whole video is this carbon heat shield for the race exhaust that comes with this Nurburgring edition special order. Dealers in the US said I couldn't even order this piece, but we pulled some strings. Next are these billet aluminum rear sets, €1,000 a side, which hold in the rear master cylinder on the right side and that exhaust heat shield, and not to mention all the specific MV hardware, including this master cylinder cover that I just had to buy brand new because there's no used options. 2 years is exactly how long we've been waiting for these MV Agusta parts. This is a Nurburgring specific exhaust shield only for the race exhaust, and we finally got to install it. Plus a whole other bag full of MV Agusta specific parts that we desperately need. Like this tiny carbon piece that sits on top of the airbox. Yeah. Couple $100. Now, I did pick up a used quick shifter on eBay, exact same part number as the one I have on this bike, because this one is not working. MV Agusta themselves said that their control modules sometimes just fail, and this is brand spanking new, and they said sometimes the brand new ones do not work. You might not believe me on that last statement, but let's just say I have some insider information. And if you don't believe me, ask your favorite YouTuber who has a Brutale 1000RR, and you'd be surprised what they're gonna say. Here is where it starts to get a little technical. The gyro sensor requires this special rubber grommet to sit behind the fuel tank so the sensor can sit at a perfect angle, measuring the yaw and pitch. A special part that burned up in the fire that I would just never find on eBay. Next, a rubber grommet and a dash harness plastic cover that obviously both disintegrated beforehand. And finally, the last electrical part we were waiting on for this whole bike, the electronic suspension harness. It plugs into the control module, which sits underneath the gas tank. Suspension harness connected to the suspension control module. R and C connected to R and C for the electronic shock in the rear. S for the electronic steering dampener. Then we have C and R, I'm assuming right, and C is left. As of the last time I ran this bike, it ran horribly with this race ECU. So I'm going to swap this out with the original stock ECU I got from the previous owner. The race ECU is out, the stock one is in. Now, the stock ECU ended up not working with this bike because it's not set up for the race exhaust that the Nurburgring has installed. Oh yeah, and this bike was not holding a charge, so my diagnosis was it needed a new stator. And let's just say we were dead right. This was the most challenging stator I've ever done, and I was actually surprised we were able to do it without having to strip apart everything we had previously installed. because I didn't want you guys to wait till 2028, we got a secondhand one off eBay. I know, shocking. Let's throw it in and hopefully this battery will charge. I am genuinely curious what MV would charge for labor prices on a Stator install on one of these newer Brutale 1000s. We got it installed and I used a little bit of gasket maker on the case cover, making sure to plug in that Stator to the rest of the harness. Now to go back with the fuel tank, but unfortunately the new fuel pump we installed is leaking out of the inlet pipe and it drained the whole tank of gas. I don't think the fuel pump is supposed to do that, but we connected it anyway because we're gonna fire this bike up. But first we need a new battery, so I got the only battery small enough that would fit in that rear subframe, an anti-gravity battery. Power and ground from the main harness connected to the battery. We also plugged in the dash and it was go time. Now this is with the stock ECU installed, but on the stock ECU there is a fault. Well, it started. New battery, new stator, and the voltage is reading proper. It is charging the battery properly this time. Earlier, it was not charging it at all, and it was just draining it when it was running. You can see we're at 12.6. Now, we do have exhaust valve issue. You guys also know that that fuel pump is bad. It leaked the whole fuel tank out when I had it removed from the bike. So we already have another fuel pump on order, and that one is brand new. So that brand new fuel pump is faulty. Then we'll put the race ECU back in, see if those codes clear, and if we can start this thing up with no errors. Next are brakes, and we've got matching billet reservoirs for the clutch and brake master cylinders. So we're going to extract all of the brake fluid and all the clutch fluid out of these reservoirs using a pneumatic brake bleeder. There is our final brake setup. Clutch reservoir a little bit smaller than the brake reservoir. Did some custom hoses with some custom brackets. Now I do have the correct hardware on order, but same on the brake side, bracket, and reservoir. And the final idea will be to take these mirrors, stick them right in between where the bracket sits on the mounting plate, and bolt it down with the mirrors and the reservoir firmly attached. Alright, we have finalized the brake and clutch reservoirs. Now it's time for a much needed oil change. Now we're also going to drop the oil pan and the mid plate above the oil pan, which means we got to remove the exhaust and reseal everything because it has a very slow leak. New filter in, and the oil pan is all back together. Now you guys might have noticed we were missing the rear pegs for the rear sets. So these are F3RR MV Agusta rear sets, but they use the exact same pegs. So we're simply going to swap these over to our rear sets. Exhaust is back on, put a new oil filter, now we just need some new oil. And then we'll swap in the race ECU and hopefully that exhaust flap malfunction goes away, then we're gonna take it for a ride. We are getting so close to finishing this bike up 100%, and the correct hardware for the mirrors showed up, so we bolted those mirrors in place and they fit so well. Now to swap out that stock ECU for the race ECU and see if that fault went away on the dash. With the race ECU in, we got a few more parts, like the carbon little piece and some gold hardware. And this is what I was talking about earlier, the specialty MV Agusta hardware that we had to buy brand new because you can't find this stuff at your local hardware store. Next in goes the battery support bracket and the carbon side fairings that are Nurburgring specific. In this shop, we are Team Row, so we're going to be using their 10W60 for a fresh oil change on this Brutale 1000. Now we get to see whether we have any faults on the dash, and the only fault we're getting is a low fuel warning, and it starts okay with that race ECU installed. I put about 30 miles on the bike, but it ended up snowing a couple days later, so we had to wait a few days to go back out and do a first highway test drive. And this is just where things went south. The Brutale was smoking like crazy, so I had to pull off on the middle of the interstate. The rear tire had oil all over it, and we weren't leaking out of the engine, oil was coming out of the exhaust. So my bro drove to me with the van and we loaded it up, and we didn't have any straps or chalk, so he held it all the way home. Then we unloaded the bike at the house, and yeah, it does not get better from here. And that'll be the last time you guys see this bike ever. Back in the shop, the exhaust was coated with oil, but there was still a decent amount of oil in the engine. There's a bunch of oil that has leaked out of the exhaust. You can see it dripping down there, and also where the exhaust connects to the headers. Now, if you guys do remember, we did rebuild this engine. We only did the top end because we replaced the head gasket, but we followed the engine service manual to a T with all the torque specs, timing the engine, you name it, and it's all on camera in a video. So I don't think we rebuilt the engine incorrectly. My only guess onto why this engine has internally self-destructed is the ECU. I purchased a race ECU from overseas, but it was tuned on petrol. So MV Agusta said they would tune the bike to run on USA fuels. I don't have the software to check any of that, so who knows how well it was actually running. Now, I don't want this bike anymore. So if one of you guys would like this Nurburgring edition, send me an offer on Instagram for this bike, c.j.media, and this bike could be yours. Bike has a brand new frame, so it has a brand new VIN and a clean title. This is definitely not how I imagined this build to end, but it is what it is.